What's up, y'all? It's me, Kel, and today I'm in my garage for some reason, and I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different today. I'm gonna be talking about my vinyl collection. Now, as far as CDs and vinyl go, I'm definitely more of a CD collector, but lately I've gotten really interested in vinyl, and while I don't have that many records, I still am proud of my collection so far. And since there aren't that many, I thought I could cram it all into one video. So I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do and want to see more videos like this, hit that like button down below. And you know, while you're at it, you could hit the subscribe button too. I have no idea if I'm actually pointing at it. Anyways though, without further ado, here is my vinyl collection. First up, we have A Rush of Blood to the Head by Coldplay, which is my favorite album by my favorite band. I got really into Coldplay about 2 years ago, and I remember listening to this album, and honestly for the first time, like, I wasn't that impressed. I don't know what it was, I guess I just like bored with it or something. So I just kind of pushed it aside and kind of forgot about it. But then about a year ago, I listened to it again and was like really surprised. And after multiple listens now, I understand why a lot of people consider this their best album. And so I knew I had to pick it up on vinyl, and for some reason it's the only Coldplay album I have on vinyl, but I should change that. Up next we have another one by Mac DeMarco. This is an EP that he released a couple years ago that I really enjoyed. A lot of good stuff on there. Next we have Ruins by First Aid Kit. First Aid Kit is a folk duo consisting of two sisters. At least I'm pretty sure they're sisters. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kel, editing this. But this is their latest album that I actually found at Urban Outfitters on sale for like $10. And I actually had really enjoyed this album too, so I was like, okay, I see you with your deals. Up next we have Sacred Hearts Club by Foster the People, and what's special about this record is that it's on exclusive Barnes & Noble pink vinyl. Over the past year, Foster the People has become one of my favorite bands, and though I love their past two albums, Torches and Supermodel, I think this still remains my favorite. This is actually a really great pressing too, I might add. Up next we have Night Visions by Imagine Dragons, once again another one of my favorite bands. I've been a little bit questionable on some of their recent stuff. I like it, I just feel like their past stuff is a little more original, and this album has a lot of jams on it, so recommend that. This is one of my most recent purchases, Walls by Kings of Leon, or We Are Like Love Songs. Actually just figured that out not that long ago. It took me a couple listens, but now I love this album. And if you look close, I found this at McKay's, a local used media store that I love so very, very much. We have John Mayer's The Search for Everything, and holy crap, this album is amazing. This was no doubt my favorite album of 2017, and I really felt like it deserved more attention than it seemed to get. I revisit this album constantly, especially songs like Still Feel Like Your Man, Emoji of a Wave. There's like so many great songs on here. And we have another record from 2017, which is Mute Math's Play Dead. I got really into Mute Math earlier this year, and even though this is their latest album, this is actually the first one I heard by them. I think I downloaded it on my Apple Music when it had come out, but somehow didn't end up listening to it till like April of this year. And this came out in September of 2017, so I don't really know how that happened. And good lord was I missing out. I just love this album because it's like so psychedelic and like euphoric. I mean, can you even tell by the album cover? I just love everything about this album, just the production, all the synths and everything, and it's just so delightfully different. Here's a record I wasn't expecting to buy, Meg Myers' Take Me to the Disco. This album came out back in July, I think, and I had no idea who Meg Myers was, but I decided to give this album a chance, and I was actually really surprised by it. And an even bigger surprise, I was down at McKay's. Yes, I know I keep talking about McKay's, but I found this for $4.95, and I was like, next we have the New Radicals' Maybe You've Been Brainwashed Too. This album came out back in the late 90s, and even if you don't know who this band is, you've probably heard You Get What You Give. And over the past year or so, I really became like obsessed with this album. I guess I like how weird it is, and not to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, stop trying so hard. I feel like the lyrical content's really clever, and the instrumentals are also really good too. And also, Someday We'll Know, what a song. Up next we have Brand New Eyes by Paramore. My brother and I actually got to see them back in October of last year, and it was definitely in my top 5 favorite concerts. And you know, I thought I'd snag this at the merch booth, and over time this has definitely become one of my favorite Paramore albums. And also we have After Laughter, their latest album. And what's cool about this album, I've got it on a limited pink pressing. What is it with me in pink vinyl? But I think they had only made like 4,000 copies or something like that. There was also like a teal version of this which only made like 1,000 to 2,000 copies, but honestly I like this color better, and I've ended up being really happy that I got it. Up next we have Reliant K's Air for Free, one of my favorite bands. Once again, I've literally been saying that about half my records, but holy crap, I love this album. I actually got this as a gift from my brother for Christmas last year, and he was lucky enough to find it used, so I'm really happy about that. And what's interesting about the vinyl version is that it actually has a different track list than the CD and digital versions. Up next we have Sam Smith's The Thrill of It All. I actually found this at a record convention a couple months ago, and it was sealed for $11.99, so you know I jumped on it. And this is also another one of my favorites from last year. I felt like he really stepped up his game from In the Lonely Hour. Not that I don't like that album, but I definitely like this one better. And now we move on to T-Swizz's Quiz territory. This is Fearless, the Platinum Edition, and this is actually the Record Store Day exclusive, which I can't remember exactly what they called this, but it was golden something. Thought I might as well jump on that before it skyrockets in price on Amazon, and it has. And we have Speak Now. Dang, what an album. Along with Fearless, I listened to this album a lot when I was a little kid. Not that I'm not a kid now, but you get what I mean. And I've really come to appreciate this album a lot more over the years. I actually found this at a thrift store somehow, and it was sealed, so I kind of freaked out and got it. No regrets on that one. And we have 1989, which I think might be my personal favorite from her. Honestly say it's a toss-up between this and Speak Now, but good lord, everything about this album is like perfection. I feel like she improved as a singer, and her complete switch over to pop was a really smart move. Up next we have 21 Pilot's latest album, Trench. My brother was kind enough to pick this up for me at a record store while he was in Florida, and what I'm so glad about is that it's on olive green vinyl, which I didn't even realize existed, but I guess it was like an indie exclusive thing. This is definitely one of my favorite records of the year. Up next we have Talking Is Hard by Walk the Moon, another fantastic album. I think this is technically my first record too. My sister actually got this for me for Christmas a couple years ago, which I've been really glad to own on vinyl. So that was my first record, and now my most recent purchase, the White Album by Weezer. So the other day on Halloween, I was scrolling through my Instagram feed when I noticed Weezer was having a Halloween sale like on their online store. So I looked and they were selling this for $10, which I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting this. And so I got it. I actually got a t-shirt too, which I would show off, but I think it's in the dirty clothes or something, but at least you know I have it. And finally, we have the 1975's debut self-titled album. My brother got this for me for my 15th birthday a couple years back, and I've been really happy with it too, especially with it being stuck to the paper, especially with it being on clear vinyl. While I definitely prefer their second album, not even gonna try to say that in one sitting, I still really do like this album, and there's a lot of standout tracks on here. Really looking forward to their new album. And there you have it. So those are all the records I have as of right now. I'll probably do more collection updates sometime in the near future, so if y'all are interested in seeing something like that, comment down below. But anyways, that is all. See you later. I hope this is still recording. Holy crap, that's a long video.